In this new episode, we are going to cover another example, maybe using a newer HTML tags that have not ever seen at all or yet. After, we are going to cover forms HTML tags, because forms is also order of the important elements in HTML. We already seen about how to represent information or how to show whatever you want about text, articles, video, image, photo. Well, image and photo is the same. And in this particular case, we are going to cover a inside quotation mark a basic blog page where we implement a semantic HTML and a navigation bar, a navigation bar, a navigation navbar. And well, this is the result. So let me back to the main page, that is the home. We have maybe a section where we share a slice about each different article, like to call attention, like any other portal news. And once we click on read the article referring in this section or referring to this another section, we are going to send to the corresponding corresponding page. Also, we have the links just right there, so there are different ways to get into or how to reach the page we want. In this particular case, I'm going to use the navigation bar. So let's to the understanding HTML basics. We have we have a button to back to the blog home. We are using again dates and maybe author direction. I already tell you guys that these pages are generated thanks to ChatGPT, so don't worry because it's not important. The important stuff is show you how to works each particular HTML tags, and maybe the content is like an example content as you can use that HTML tags. Okay, we have just right there we have a pretty big image, maybe an interesting tag that we seen yet in sections, copyright in the footer, and back to blog home, exploring CSS. We talk about a little about CSS. This is an image, but this particular, as you can see, I can select, but the font family is different. So we're going to cover this in a few moments or in a minute, I don't know. And another section, the same footer, the back to blog home, and the last one, maybe for example, if I click just right there in the read article, let's see to the getting started with JavaScript, and we see the same information, another image, but we again see or watch this strange representation about the content, because this is code, and in HTML we have a HTML tag that allows to maybe show to the clients, okay, this is maybe a specific code about, I don't know, JavaScript, Java, Python, another programming language, PHP, Markdown maybe, and so let's back to the blog home and let's see how the code works. Okay, maybe we have the same basic HTML template, like metadata, the title, the header with a heading 1. This is the most important heading in one HTML page. So as you can see, I can repeat this heading 1 because it's something that maybe could damage or affect the HTML the reputation of a page to, for example, Google Chrome's web crawler. And we have the navigation bar just right there, and in the main section we have maybe a few shortcut or a few slices information about each particular post we have in the page. So, and well, as you can see, also we use the anchor to redirect to that particular pages like post 1, post 2, and post 3. I am using the files and folder distribution I already told you in the last episode that I highly recommend about. If you can, please use the index HTML and maybe organize different pages thanks to the folder's name, because as you can see in this page, for example, if I go to the post one, you see we enter to the post slash post this character one. I don't know how to call it, and well, how that is how this works. So this is basic page, because this page already has the HTML tags we already seen in the last episode. So let's go to the first post about introduction to HTML. Maybe, well, okay, we have the time tag, but it's not a big deal. We have address. Maybe if someone asks how can I use address is related to the contact information about something. It's not about the author or about another context. Well, depends in the context. For example, in the description, just right there, we see it's nearest article or body element ancestor. So that means we are going to use the contact information depending on the context. These HTML tags are in this particular case. The HTML tag is on the header about the post. So as you can know, or well, as you can see, this relate to the author of the post. In this case, maybe we are going to redirect to mail to .author@example.com, and the author name. This is the information that if changed we are going to see in the page. For example, I don't know, Chris Love, but I already told you that I am not the author of this page, because it's just generated thanks to ChatGPT. And maybe I'm going to show you this one because I think it's pretty important once you want to include any type of resource in your page, because the figure element allows you implement captions to our resource like image, video, and audio. Another one, and allows clients or allow users know maybe a bit about context of this of the resource. Of course, maybe I'm going to give you an example if you are not familiar with this, because maybe if you try to find out this figure caption is just right there, figure 1, and maybe this is so common in maybe academic documents, but also it's very common in any document around the web. So give me a sec. So if I take a random medium post, for example, this one, and go to a random tag about this, maybe the author doesn't use the figure caption. Let me see if containing the HTML, but the figure caption, the idea is use the visible area to give context to the user. So in this particular case, the author is not using this, is using another one that is picture. Okay, that's interesting, but okay, let me see. Okay, just right there in this one, you see maybe, okay, we have maybe, I don't know, a context or an idea about the post, like the Old West, in this case Cookie West. This image was AI generate, but in this section you see we have the figure caption, that is maybe a text that gives to the user information about the resource that is being shown, in this case this image. And if we look in the HTML code, you see we are using, well, they are using figure. Maybe in the div they are including the picture, the image, and also you see the fig caption that allows to give this context. So it's pretty common, use this, and maybe it's a way to enrich your web page. Is not a must, nothing in HTML is a must. You can use a hidden one as HTML page, and doesn't worry, any web browser are going to understand your web page, but it's not it's not recommended. It's not recommended, and that is possible, but does not mean it is the right thing to do. So in this particular case, I recommend you use figure, include your element and a feed caption. So that's all. Maybe we are using a strong, but a strong is normal. It's like when you want to highlight something that maybe has importance, and just right there we are using character codes. So in this particular case, the character codes means this one, the less and major or greater than. That is pretty common in HTML. So let's back to the web page to see where is this code. And as you can see, they are using just right there H1 using the less or greater than elements. So maybe is recommend use this instead. This maybe because a web browser should have a complication, or it's hard to try to difference between this because it's just code and this that is the maybe the literal way to put as a character. And as you can see, we can see in this way. So also we have the paragraph tag and the anchor tag that is link. So okay, this common. Well, this is the first time we see the code tag, and the code tag allows in a obviously a semantic way to share code about maybe when we want to remark something that is maybe not only 100% with programming, but the most cases use this only for programming, but you can use this if you want to use a markdown, or you want to highlight something that is in a different format that you are not used to share, like just plain text. So yeah, just only code when you want to put the literal format. For example, I don't know, if I want to take a random part or a random snippet from any Word document, PDF, and I will just put it literally, we can use code. But remember that also exists the other tag that helps to mention who say that. That is, I don't remember. Give me a sec. Okay, this is pretty obvious. Quote tag. This is another one, but remember that maybe in that context or in that cases is also recommend maybe use pre, because pre is like pre-format and is useful when you want to share something literally. Maybe the format is important, and maybe let the quote or the block quote when someone says something that you want to highlight in your web page. So yeah, you use pre, also has the same use as code, but code is highly recommend only when you want to share programming logic, and the pre is just one pre-format test. Maybe it's like something that you want to remark outside of the plain content of the web page. Let's see the difference, and you can see it's almost the same, but the semantic is not 100% the same each others. So let's continue, because this has been so nice. So we have section. Remember section to share different information in each part. As you can see, we are talking about basic HTML elements. In the other section, why use semantic HTML, and maybe in the first one was what is HTML. So this is nice. And quick tips also, we use quick tips, and maybe I want to focus in something, because the principal or the main section was these three ones. This, what is HTML, because it's hidden tree. This other one, hidden tree. This other one, hidden tree. But look this, because in the last tags we use section in all of them, and in this particular in this particular site we are using a site like extra content, and using the hidden fourth, not the hidden three, because is something is like this is extra, is not 100% important, and maybe the block post could survive alone without this section, but it's something that it's useful, but is also extra. In this particular case, quick tips: when write HTML, always aim to use the most appropriate tags for the content you are representing. This helps with accessibility and improves the readability of your code. So that's nice. Thank you, ChatGPT, because you are helping me a lot with this content. So let's go to the following post maybe. And in this case, we have, well, the header again. We have the same header and address about the author. We have again a picture. As you can see, maybe we have well, figure and picture. Picture is also used to contain only images. The picture is contained with provides multiple source or something like that. So maybe in future episodes we are going to cover the picture. Okay, this is the same. Okay, we are using code again. In this particular case, we are using code to represent SCC code. So let's see, to explore in CSS. Okay, this is the image. As you can see, I can't select text because this is a literally image. And in this particular case, we see in different font, and I can select the text because this inside a code element. In the other hand, we have the pre. This is interesting because I don't know. I'm not 100% sure why ChatGPT helped me with this using the pre. Maybe because has different application. In this particular case, pre to include this code in a literal way also, but using also a code. So I invite you guys to look for more information about how to use different HTML tags, and maybe if you can combine them and using in specific in specific context and so on. So the another one, we are using an unordered list to include elements. I don't know if in this case, okay, in this case we don't use, okay, we also use unordered list, so never mind. And well, we're using the same element aside also with a quick tip and get back to the home. Okay, and I forget to mention the footer using the maybe copyright information. And the last one, we have maybe the same information. Maybe you know, or maybe you already noticed that we repeat the same pattern, like section, hidden 3 or hidden 2 or hidden 1, and more, like, because this is HTML. Maybe in this particular case, okay, we are using code to remark some specific words, not like a whole block of code, just only specific words. Like in JavaScript, you can use the let const or var to declare variables, and in this the other one you can use for function, keyword, and so on, another more. And well, as you can see, maybe you can improve the way as we are reading this. Maybe use improving the lantern, only the way we just figure out the code, just in this way. So that's nice. We have the function. Okay, the same as here. We are going to use this one and prepare, because in a near future we are going to see this particular code. And don't worry, it's interesting. I love JavaScript and the way you can create the web using it. So the same just right there. Don't well, remember this doesn't affect the representation, because the representation is thanks to the HTML tags. Doesn't matter if you use, for example, in this code block, maybe I don't know, 30 backslash like this. Okay, this is the enter, I don't know, and save. If we return to the page, we are not see the space, because that space is not represent at all, because it's just maybe it's something that literally it won't be show because it's not using semantic way or semantic HTML tags to literally present that. Maybe if you use pre, maybe I'm not 100. I'm not sure. No, also pre no, but you can use something like, if I'm not wrong, no, I'm not wrong. Okay, I am wrong. Maybe the well, one of the ways to do that is just abuse about the BR, like BR's break, line break, and use in this way. Okay, this is the part. So just you see, we have a lot of space. Okay, that's nice. And I think there is no more. There are no more. And I hope this video was helpful. In the next episode, we are going to cover the HTML forms and how to handle information that comes from the user, and maybe in a near future know how to handle that information or no. For example, to save them in a database or something like that. So I hope this video was helpful, and see you in the next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. No sé. No, no. What's happened? Stop recording. Thank you. Bye bye.